you here at USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network. Our show today is Secrets to Timeless Beauty. And look at this new background that we have. I feel so light and bright. I don't know about you. Our show today is all about everything we learned in 2021 about timeless beauty with the star of our show, who is beautiful inside and out. Her name is Katrina Valente. She is an international superstar. She is a facialist to the A-level stars. She is a coach. She is a mentor. She is somebody who really helps you get right in your body and in your mind. Let's welcome her to the program. She's joining us from Dubai. Katrina Valente, hello.
Hi, what an introduction, Dr. Jacalyn. You know, I've just realized you put butterflies.
Yes.
And I have butterfly tattoos on my arms. You can't see it now.
Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful. Yeah? I love it. Look at that.
You didn't even know we are synced.
How many butterflies do you have? Three?
Three.
They're very pretty. What was the purpose of, if you don't mind telling our audience and telling me, what was the significance of getting those butterflies?
The butterflies are about transformation, and I've always been very intrigued by butterflies when I was young. And these are to honor my mother, my father, and my aunt, who are now no longer with us.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's really nice. Thank you for being transparent and sharing that. And the butterfly, to me, I feel like because of the whole birth process from the cocoon and the caterpillar, it's that transformation. And we as human beings, we go through transformation over and over and over again. And I think for some of us, we feel like we don't really have any input as to that transformation, especially when it comes to us, what we look like physically. But that's not the case. And all this year, you've been bringing all of these phenomenal tips about how we can feel better, how we can look better. And I thought today it would be a great time just to review some of them. We still have another month or so, left in this, but let's start talking about some of the key learnings that you've been sharing with us throughout the year.
Well, I think we spoke a lot about beauty and anti-aging and products and mental health and colors, and what else did we talk about? Relationships, so many things.
We have, and each one of those segments, if anybody happened to miss it, they can go over to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio, and of course, reach out to Katrina directly. We have her contact information here. One thing I want to share is, I think something that really separates you from anyone else we have on this platform is that for your work, you actually travel to 5-star resorts, to places that people can only dream of going, and you're actually providing valuable services to help people reconnect with themselves, to leave that outer world behind and to focus on the inside. Can you tell us how you got started? I know you've been doing this for a long time, but how did you get started with leading hotels of the world, luxury collections, and working with people in that regard?
Well, I started with the Six Senses in Ziggy Bay, which is in Oman, and it's a very exclusive resort in valley. You've got the mountains behind you and the sea in front of you and nothing else. And from there, I spoke to Sonu, who was the owner of Six Senses. He's sold it now. But he got me on the travel, and I started traveling around with them. And I've actually just been to the island that he owns, which is Soneva Fushi, Sono and his wife Eva, Soneva. And that was pretty special. And I worked with an amazing doctor there, and we complemented each other very well. So I've been doing that for about 15 years now, on and off. And I travel around as a specialist in my field, which is holistic anti-aging. And more recently, in the last few years, I'm moving much more into the coaching and healing modalities. So yes, I've been very lucky, very fortunate. I've been to places people can only dream of, and yeah, it's been amazing, really.
Thank you so much for sharing part of your journey. It's just so exciting. I think something else that's really important is you are also an intuitive, and you feel certain things. You're in alignment with what's going on in the universe. And people have been shifting, avoiding shifting. I hate pivoting, but people have had to make decisions based on the things that have happened over the last 2 or 3 years. And more change is coming. It's coming in 2023, whether we like it or not. And I want to just relate it back to the start that you had. So 15 years ago, I don't know that you could have envisioned accomplishing all that you have in the way that you have. And so for people out there today, they might feel like, well, 2023, what am I really going to change? I'm a certain age, but you can change right now and set the tone for the next decades of your life. Tell us more in your experience about that, Katrina.
Look, we're coming into really exciting times, and the world is changing, and we have to change with it. And if we don't change with it, we'll be left behind. We've just come through the 8th of November and the 11th of November, which were huge energy portals. And like the message is, you've got two choices. You either change or you change. Which one is it going to be? There is no other choice now. So we all better get jumped onto that bandwagon and get going. Otherwise, you're just going to be left behind. You know, it's important to look into your heart, to ask yourself, what is it that you love to do? And you have to follow that path. It's no longer about how much money can I make. It's about what you love to do, and then the money will follow. And, you know, it's just such a pivotal time on earth. And I do believe that it's all for the greater good. We're moving from a third dimensional reality, which is work, go home, eat, sleep, repeat, to a fifth dimensional reality where we'll be living much more in abundance and love and unity.
It sounds so beautiful the way you describe it. Thank you. So, when we think about everything we've learned in 2021, one thing that I'm taking away is we have to continuously be open to embrace change and to let go of things that don't serve us and to be curious about what else is out there. So, for our friends who are in the I love my stuff. I love my cars. I love my jewelry. I love my stuff, my stuff, my stuff. That's one thing. And then for our friends who are all about climate and the environment and humanity, what about the people in the middle?
Good question. Look, I mean, I think that the good thing that you can do with that is you need change starts with your home and with yourself. So, you know, you need to start clearing out the clutter of your home. And that brings in automatic change, because what you're doing is you're getting rid of that which you no longer need, and you're making way energetically for new things to come in. And so automatically things will start happening. And it gives you a feeling of lightness when you clean out your house. Clean out the cupboards, get rid of old clothes, put salt down in every corner to get rid of the negative energy, sage your home throughout. And that's a good start for people that are in the middle and don't really know what to do.
What about this salt? Is there a certain type? Is it pink Himalayan? Does it matter?
Yeah, they're not so much in the house, but pink Himalayan is the highest vibration of salt.
And what do you recommend in terms? I mean, maybe you don't even recommend this, but crystals. Should people acquire crystals and keep them in their
Yeah,
home?
I mean, crystals, when you buy a crystal, you must immediately cleanse it, because crystals absorb negative energy. And so if it's been sitting in a shop for God knows how long, you need to soak it for at least 24 hours in some Himalayan salt in a big bowl of water, and cover the crystal. Make sure that the crystal is immersed in the water. And then if you can, put it out in the sunshine, put it out in the full moon, and it re-energizes it. ready for you to use it. And you can place them around your home. The thing is with crystals is that they find you, you don't find them. So you'll be attracted to the right ones.
And I'm just wondering, in conjunction with the crystals, what about salt lamps? Do they bring value?
Amazing. Yeah, I've got one in every room, salt lamps. And you have to keep them on 24/7. Don't turn them off.
Do they need to be cleaned or submersed?
No.
No.
No, because salt absorbs negative energy.
Okay, so then they're running all the time, getting that energy. Do they last for a certain amount of time? It's like, oh, this one's pretty much full of my negative energy. I got to get a new one, or no?
No, I mean, the only thing that happens with them is the bulbs go out. So you have to buy new bulbs.
Okay. All right. There we have it. Some crystals, some salt in the corners, salt lamps. So that's a great takeaway. Now, as you know, in the States, we're coming upon Thanksgiving, which some people go completely crazy with what they're eating and drinking. It's like, forget about the whole year. We're just going to break all the rules. And then it can a downward spiral throughout the rest of the year. And then we set those goals for New Year's. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then I'm tired and I'm not doing anything. So how can we embrace this type of year, celebrate it, but still be realistic and focused on our health?
I think it's a time to remember all these people that can't have a solid meal. I mean, we have to remember we're in 2% of the world population that have a roof over our head and food to eat every day. So I think, I'll allow you one day to enjoy yourself and gorge a bit. But I mean, you'll be paying for it for the next few weeks to come. And is it really worth it? When we overeat, overdrink, we just don't feel good the next day. So I think it's a question of being mindful.
I agree with you.
Doing something for charity, doing something to help someone less fortunate than yourself.
Absolutely. I have to applaud that. That is beautiful. Here's where I think we need to dig in a little deeper when we think about what we've learned over the past year. Many times we will use food or alcohol or shopping or gambling or sex, or we go on and on and on to cover up the fact that we're in pain, or we didn't make our goals for the year, or our relationships don't feel very good. We have to make decisions. And instead of doing the hard work, we stuff ourselves so we don't have to feel anymore. Is there a way, a plan of action that we can say, okay, today's November 22nd, 21st, and we're going to put something in place to realize what it is we still have to work on, and then have some type of reward plan?
You need to write it down. You need to write down what you've achieved in the year and what you still want to achieve. Because when the brain sees it written on paper, the subconscious mind takes it in a different way. And then you can manifest quicker. So I think you have to sit in meditation. You have to think about how good you feel about what you've achieved this year, where you could have done better. But we're all human, so we'll have to cut ourselves some slack as well. But, the most important thing is our health and our well-being. And, have you served in the work that you're in? Does it fulfill you? Are your relationships good with your family? You need to start there.
That sounds like a great place to start. Thank you. So something else I just want to really hone in on. I've been seeing more and more posts from celebrities about skincare products, about makeup products, and I'm not sure who's legitimate, who's not legitimate. You actually have done your research. You use certain products. You know what works and what doesn't work. And when we think about feeling good in our own skin, when we think about putting products on our skin that are healthy, that will serve us in the long run, what advice or direction do you have for our audience about that?
Oh God.
We could be here
You
all
know,
day.
it's such a minefield. I mean, you know, this celebrity, that celebrity, and obviously they've got the money to do it. So, because to create products is super expensive. You know, the ingredients, you've got to source, you've got to do a lot of research. But there's a lot of organic and vegan products available on the market these days. And I think people are becoming a lot more conscientious of parabens that are in a lot of skincare. And, you know, I think you just have to try and go to a skincare professional to get some advice. Don't go to the stores because they're just there to sell. You need to go to a beauty therapist, a skincare specialist that has some ethics behind what she's selling you. And that's a good place to start, I think.
Thank you so much. I wanted to share that where I live, which is in South Florida, there is a very high-end mall, shopping mall. It's one of the premier in the whole country of the United States. And just in walking around there, because I hadn't been there for a long time, I was amazed at how many people are offering skincare and makeup. So not only do you have the big box department stores, and then you have the boutiques, which are, you know, either franchise or company owned. Now you have physicians who have their own spot there in the mall. You have medical spas. You have kiosks that distribute facial products. It's just like, oh my goodness, everyone seems to have a hand in the beauty industry. But yet at the crux, at the core of all of it, it's all marketing. It's how can
Yeah,
we get
yeah.
people to come and try our products. And so I think what I'd like you to speak on now is I think people have to understand that there could be allergies, there could be reactions depending on what you're already putting in your body with supplements, with food, with medications. It's not just something that you just arbitrarily start trying everyone's products, right?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing is to stick with one product range. Excuse me. You don't go, you know, take a cleanser from this range, a toner from that range, a moisturizer from, you stick to one product line. That's very important because they work in synergy with each other. And if you're a bit scared about being allergic, you have to try it on your inner arm or the inner wrist or behind the ear here as the sensitive skin. So you'll know if you react within 24 hours. And just take one or two products to try them to see if you like them. You don't have to buy the whole range. You know, a moisturizer is probably one of the most important things. So, you know, get a moisturizer and a cleanser to start with and see how you like it. You know, the proof is in how your skin is. So many people over the years have come to me and said, oh, you know, my skin's not good. And I said, well, what products are you using? Oh, well, I'm not really using so much, or, you know, I'm using something from there and something from here. So, hello, your skincare, your skin tells you if you're using the right skincare or not. Pay attention. It's simple, you know.
I love that. It's also like we have intuition, but we don't listen to our intuition. So your skin's going to let you know what the case is. I just noticed last night I was polishing my nails, and I've shared this, but I'm on prednisone and I'm on for a little while. And I've noticed that my face is rounder, but my nails are now growing on top of each other. Have you ever seen that where they're kind of like, they're just not as strong as they used to be? So my point is medications can impact your skin and your nails. So do you think it makes sense, and I know you're not a physician, I'm just asking off the cuff, for people to just also take supplements for their hair and skin? Or
Absolutely. Oh gosh, I'm a big advocate for that. You have to take supplements these days. The food isn't, if it's not coming out of your garden, you don't know how long it's been sitting in the supermarket, in the stores. Apples can keep up to, I think it's a year or something crazy like that. So it's like, how can you measure what is a balanced diet? You know, that's always something it's very difficult. So I do highly recommend supplements. I've taken them since I was in my 20s.
yeah, I like supplements as well. And I remember something that you shared here on the platform, which it was new information for me. When we think about our skin, and some people are all about, oh, I don't wear any moisturizer, I don't use anything to clean my face, I'm just pure. And and I was thinking, okay, but what I thought I heard you say is that we want to have products to protect our skin, especially when we're out in the UV rays, which they're UVA and B. But some people are not on board with this. Tell us more.
Look, nowadays, foundations and skincare is all geared to protect your skin. The ingredients like vitamin C, vitamin A, hyaluronic acid, lipoic acids, vitamin E, they all protect your skin from UV, from free radical damage. So the more layers you can put on your skin in the daytime, the more protection you have. The only thing you have to do is make sure you clean it off properly. So for people to say, oh, I don't wear any foundation, it's actually not such a good thing, because then you're more exposed to the elements. And foundations nowadays are made a lot in a treatment sense. So they treat the skin as they're sitting on the skin. And a lot of them do have SPFs. So the more the better.
And what about somebody who's on the opposite end of the spectrum? We talked about this in one of the shows. I watched one of these news media magazine things where a woman was always in her makeup and she slept in the makeup. Then she got up, took off the makeup, put on more. Her husband only saw her with makeup on 24/7. Is this a healthy thing?
No, of course not. I mean, come on. You have to let your skin breathe. Look, excuse me, I've said it time and time again. The daytime, your skin has to be protected. At nighttime, you have to nourish it. So although everything to do with the body slows down at night, everything to do with the skin speeds up. So that's when the regeneration is happening. So you have to use appropriate products. If you're sleeping with your makeup, you're suffocating your skin. I mean, that's it in a nutshell, you know.
There it is. Now, what if you just started this new relationship with somebody, just started spending the night together, and it's like, oh, I'm going to stay awake all night with my makeup on, so he thinks I look just like this.
I don't care. I never ever go to bed with my makeup on. Ever.
Yeah, so take something away from that, because she has beautiful skin and she knows what she's talking about. Okay, so we talked about that, but what about skincare for men? Do men need to wear moisturizer and do the same process?
Of course. Skin is skin. Men have thicker, coarser skin, so you can be a little bit more harsh with it. But because they shave mainly on a daily basis, that's exfoliation in itself. So a man needs to use just a good face wash, a moisturizer, and a sunblock. And nowadays, you know, you've got the metrosexual man who is very much into grooming and taking care of himself.
Yeah, we actually explored that on our show, our men's show, Wild at Heart. And then we're talking about the grooming products that they use. And I was surprised that a number of the guys use a lot of products. So you just mentioned something that I want to touch on. I know you're going to laugh, but you mentioned about shaving. And I actually have girlfriends who shave their face. They've been shaving it for years. What do you think about this practice? Is it something is it good for exfoliating?
I think if a woman shaves her skin, it's a bit risky. I mean, there's this new thing called, is it not microblading, something blading. I've tried it a few times and it gets rid of all the very fine hair on your face. But I did find it was coming back in bristly, and it exfoliates your skin to such a degree that the sun can give you much easier pigmentation. So I use sugar paste on my face, and I wax my face with sugar paste, which is a lot more gentle. And I do it maybe once a month. and it just gets rid of the fine hair. As you get older, I find it's more relevant.
Can you share with us what's in this sugar paste? Can we make it at home?
You can. It's an Arabic recipe. I started my career sugaring. So instead of waxing, I did sugaring, and you take a lump of it. It looks like toffee, and you spread it on the skin, and you flick it off with your hand. And it's a lot more gentle than the wax. So you can make it at home. It's basically sugar and water, and you just boil it, and then I think, and they put lemon juice in it as well. I've never tried making it because you can buy it in the supermarkets here. It's very inexpensive, but it is more gentle than the wax.
There you go. There's a great tip for people. And maybe you can start to make your own business, people. I don't know. You can give this as gifts, sugar paste for the holidays. So some of the other things that we've spoken about, I'm going to move on to a big topic, which is relationships, because our relationships can have such an impact on our health and on our skin. And I don't think that we actually put two and two together many times. When we don't look well, we don't feel well, we're literally worn out from these abusive, broken, narcissistic, going nowhere, dead end relationships. But we keep hanging on. Oh, I can't let go. So for people who are out there right now thinking, you know what, I am sick of this relationship I'm in, I need to do something, but the holidays are coming. I might get a really cool gift. We're supposed to go someplace nice. Forget it.
That never works out. That never works out. When you sell your soul to the devil, you better look out, because you're going to get burnt. That is for sure. Look, the thing with relationships is what you've got to really look at first and foremost is your values, because you have to have the same values. And you need to do that exercise. I tell everybody this: values and boundaries. And if you know that intrinsically for yourself, then you can attract it, with the person that you're with. You have to have 3 out of 5 of the same values. Otherwise, it's never going to work.
Okay, so when you say 3 out of 5, can you tell us what are these 5?
No, because you have to do it. It's a question you have to ask yourself. So what are your values in relationship? It's like we all have different values, so you have to write them down. What's important to you? Is it integrity? Is it kindness? Is it generosity? Is it having great sex? What is it to you that is important for you to have a successful relationship? But you've got to write down 20 things. It's got to be 20, because you'll get stuck. You'll get stuck on about 12, 13, 14, and you've got to really dig down inside, sit with it, and then something else will come up until you've got 20 on the list. And then you look at that list and you take your top 5 things that are non-negotiable for you to have a successful relationship. And it's eye-opening, because if you ask most people, what are your values in relationship? They're going to say, I don't know. So if you don't know, then how do you know what you want to attract? So the clearer you can become, then the easier it is for you to attract the right person into your life.
Now, that's very well said. Does that person, in order for the relationship to move further, do they have to have the exact same values that you have, or can you kind of give and take?
You need 3 out of 5 that are the same.
Okay.
I mean, I went into business with a woman that had completely different values from me, and as a result of that, I lost everything. Because our values were not aligned. So it's not just in romantic relationship, it's also in business relationship. For even friendships, you have to have the same values, because they're intrinsically a part of who you are on a core level.
Well, there you've heard it. So for our friends out there who are thinking, okay, I'm been with this person for all this time. I'm going to hang in till the end of the year. I'm going to do this work with the 20 values. And then I'm on a mission. I'm seeking and finding my next true love.
No, you don't have to look for it. You just have to be. And then that person will find you. It's energy. And like attracts like, right? And you have to know where your boundaries are, what's acceptable and not acceptable for you. It's another question when you ask people, where are your boundaries in relationship? They can't tell you. They don't know.
There are many times that people let others overstep their boundaries because they're so afraid of being alone. And we know people like this. You know, people who don't want to be alone. They're literally so afraid to get to know themselves. But I know you've spent a lot of time alone. I've spent a lot of time alone. And it's amazing what you can find out about yourself that you wouldn't have known otherwise, right?
Jacalyn, I'm just going to have to plug my computer in because it's running very low on battery.
And you know what, folks, that's what happens to us personally. We start running low on our battery and we need a recharge. And so when that happens, it's okay to take a step back and say, okay, I'm feeling out of sorts. I don't know exactly what's going on with me. I need to reconnect with myself. But somebody else can't help us do that unless they're professional. You can't be in a relationship with someone and think they're going to complete you or they're going to fix you.
No, but that's what most women do. That's what, you know, and that's what we've been told since the day we were born. Unless you are married and have a man in your life and have children, you are not a whole person. Hello, this is the 21st century. Women are different now. They don't need a man to complete them. They don't need a man for finances. And in a way, it's a problem because men don't know where they are. You know, what do women want? They've got no clue. And a lot of women are too much like men also, which is not a good thing.
You know what? It's so true what you just said. And how many times have we heard someone say, I'm looking for my other half. I'm looking for my better half. What are you, half a person looking for another half? Or are you one whole person looking for a whole person? Why do we say this or think this?
I know, because it's been indoctrinated in us and we don't even realize. We've been programmed since the day we were born, through TV, through media, through radio, through our teachers, schooling. We've been programmed since the day we were born. We know nothing else, so we never question it. But now, with all this pandemic and COVID, and it's highlighted a lot of things that have been undercover for many, many years. And people are starting now to think outside the box.
Yeah, I think people are taking a step back. And by the way, I just read this morning that at least here in the States, that employers in 2023 are going to be requiring people to come back to work. So now, whereas people have been at home and they've been Zooming and they've been doing whatever they're doing, they actually are going to be getting together in person and going into an office situation. And so that also brings a lot more connectivity and socialization and opportunity for people to meet someone.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, hooray for that, right?
Yes.
I mean, definitely. Because there's been a lot of people isolated. You know, depression is on the rise like it's never been before. You know, I'm getting an influx of people at the moment with problems, relationship problems, business problems, health problems, all wanting to be fixed. You know, so it's no joke. We're living in really difficult times, and you know, they predict that next year is going to be even worse. So look out, get ready, and hold on to your jobs because who knows what's around the corner.
Very true. Now, you just used a term and you said people want you to fix them or help them get fixed. What does that process look like? Can we truly be fixed?
No, you can only highlight to someone what they can't see for themselves. You know, I mean, coaching is all about that, right? You're not there to tell someone what to do. You're there to give them a different perspective on what can be done and to look at something and to help them look at something from a different perspective, which in turn gives them a solution to the problem.
Now, I want to hone in on what you just said because I think it's vitally important. Let's just look at the act of looking at ourselves and realizing we're not exactly where we need to be. We don't like our job. We don't like our relationship. We don't like our weight. We don't like ourselves. We don't. And all of a sudden we just start sliding backwards because the pile just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. How can we take a breath, take a step back and say, wait a minute, I'm not going to do this to myself again. I'm not going to put myself down and belittle myself. I'm going to look at one thing at a time. I'm going to reach out to Katrina. I'm going to get some other perspective.
Yeah, because look, it all starts with self-love. We're all far too much. We're too hard on ourselves, and I think social media doesn't help that because it's all filters, it's all perfectionism, it's all young, beautiful woman. You've got to be this way, you've got to be that way, and if you're not that way, then you're not going to be loved, you know. And this is, I think, social media has been a big detriment to society in that regard, you know.
I think you really just touched on something that's so important is we don't know what's actual and what's fake. We don't know what's manufactured. All I know is that these A-list celebrities that, you know, who knows how many filters there are on there or how many people they have making them up. I was reading that for one of the award ceremonies, one of the A-list actresses showed the entire entourage, like 20 people that got her ready to go to this award ceremony. So there's
exactly.
no way.
It's not real. It's not real. And that's what people don't get. You know, they take things and they buy into what they're seeing, but it's just not reality. I mean, I've met a lot of A-list celebrities, and let me tell you, they're really different in real life. They're like any other person. People are people. You know, and I've never looked up to somebody that's a celebrity or royalty or whatever. People are people, and I'm telling you, I've dealt with so many of them, and they've got more shit to deal with than any of us could ever imagine. And they're more screwed up than you could ever believe. So, you know, it's all an illusion. It's just not real. And people should try and remember that, you know. They are in something like, is it 1% of the entire world's population? Not even. Not even.
And yet
Hollywood's like a minuscule. It's just negligible, you know.
When they're on your treatment table, they're just like anybody else.
Anybody else. People are people. It doesn't matter what you've got, who you are, how much money, rich or you're poor. We have all got the same problems. Trust me. Honestly, it's unbelievable.
It's that old expression that if you threw your problems in a pile and everybody else did, you would still walk away with your own. So
exactly.
Yeah. So when we think about some of the other key learnings that are takeaways for this year, 2022, it's amazing to me because I feel like we're just getting started. I feel like the last 3 years have been this doorway that opens and hey, are you walking through or are you standing back and watching what's happening? And if you've walked through the door, then opportunity comes your way. And I just would like your thoughts about curiosity. The word curiosity, like a child. Children are so wide-eyed and so interested, and until an adult tells them, don't do that, go to your room, you're bad, they're still curious. They fall down and they bounce right back up. But at some point that stops. So as adults, what about this curiosity in terms of what else is out there?
It's so interesting that you've used that word, because I had a healing with a shaman earlier in the year, and he said to me, just be curious. Don't judge anything that happens to you. Just be curious and stand back and say, oh, that's interesting. even if it's something that you don't like, you have to look at it from a different perspective and just ponder on what's happening. and be curious. Be, you know, what else can I learn from this situation? What is that person teaching me? You know, there's so many different angles. It's not just what you're seeing, like you. It's like, what are you learning from it? What are you gaining from this? Because there's always something.
It's so true. I do want to say hello to our friend, Pastor Stephen, is watching us from Uganda. Thank you so much. He oversees a ministry of wonderful orphans. We're going to be giving them more airtime to get people to reach out and to help them. And I think that's a great way to close. You mentioned it from the onset of this show about getting involved, giving back, helping other people. And what do people have to say about that? Oh, charity starts at home. I've got all these issues at home. When you reach out, you reach your hand across the table to help somebody else, regardless of your situation, it feels amazing. Tell us more.
It does. I mean, I think, you know, we all came here to help each other. There's nobody that needs to be poor. There's nobody that needs to not be able to have a meal every day. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much money is in the world and how few people have so much. And I just think, you know, even a smile can make someone's day. You never know what someone's going through, so you should never prejudge people. You don't know if they're having a bad day or not, what's going on in their life. So, you know, always be kind. If you have a choice, always choose to be kind.
There it is. Always choose to be kind and put yourself in somebody else's shoes, because you just never know. You know, I have to share this with you. I love going to my solid core workout. I'm not a paid spokesperson. It's in this very nice shopping center, and there's a lot of actual office space that's empty, and it's been empty for a while, but it's very upscale, and there are these benches, and I happened to walk by the last 2 days a homeless person. It looks like a student with a backpack, and is literally sleeping there on this bench 2 days in a row. And I thought to myself, even in the area where I live, there are people who are struggling. You don't know what somebody else is going through. Don't judge them. I saw somebody in the street yesterday. It was pouring rain. It was like a monsoon, and he was walking with a few plastic bags in the middle of the road, and cars were splashing. Like, nobody even pulled over to help him. And I thought, why are we living like this? Because we don't know what happens to these people. We don't know what's going to happen to us. All we know is we're here together, and let's support one another on this journey.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, my dear, our journey today is coming to an end, sadly, but I feel liberated with this information that you've shared today. And I know that you are busy, but people can still reach out to you and hire you and work with you. Tell us about the services that you offer. And of course, you've got travel coming up. How can people work with you? Do they have to be in Dubai?
No, the people that are not in Dubai can work with me online. I'm doing the tarot readings through Zoom, and the clearing work and the coaching work, obviously, online. And then if you're in Dubai, you can come and see me. I'm still offering facials, and I'm doing different kinds of healing and massage that realign the electromagnetic field.
Ah, sounds so beautiful and joyous. Wonderful. So tell us when your next trip is coming up.
So I'm going to Egypt on Thursday, and this is the first trip that I'm going on for myself in about 5 years. So I'll be going on a spiritual journey. There's 16 of us, and we're going, it's a very heavy itinerary. So we're going to be visiting all the different sites and the temples. We'll be on the Nile for 4 days on a cruise, and there'll be a lot of healing. There's a shaman, an astrologer, and another healer that are heading the group. And every day, practically, we meditate in special places and stuff. So it'll be exciting. I did this trip 15 years ago, actually. So it'll be interesting to see what new revelations I get this time.
Wow, good for you. Going on holiday. I love it. Have a great time.
Thank you.
I do want to say hello to a few folks who are watching. Hello, Roland Friedel just joined us. Hi, Roland. We have Antoinetta Del Grosso. We have Pastor Stephen, as I mentioned. We have Diane Floyd Bain. We also have Leighton, and we have somebody else, Pushcart Foundation in Uganda, another person in Uganda watching. So thank you for being here with us today. That's very exciting. Last words to close us out today as we think about taking good care of ourselves inside and out, Katrina.
Oh, just try and be happy. You know, happiness shines from within, and you see it out on a person on the outside. You can always tell if somebody's happy or sad. And take care of your health. You know, there's a lot of people recently I've heard that are not well. They have cancer and all kinds of things. So, you know, take care about what you're eating, what you're putting in your mouth, exercise, have fun with friends, enjoy your life. Life is short, you know.
And do keep tuning into our show because we love having you. And thank you so much for all the valuable information that you are bringing to us. And I hope you have a beautiful trip. When will we see you back here again?
I will be back in Dubai on the 6th of December for 2 weeks. So I'll catch you at some point then before I head off to the Maldives for Christmas and New Year.
Beautiful. I love it. And keep posting those pictures. People can follow you on Instagram and see all your beautiful gowns and the beautiful areas that you travel. So again, it's Katrina Valente. Those of you who are on the radio or listening on a podcast platform, KatrinaValente. There you go.
That's me. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear friend. I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. And thanks to each and every one of you who are out there. I just love doing this so much. Can you tell? It's just so much fun to bring education, hope, and inspiration to each and every one of you. Okay, I have a special announcement. I've been announcing this for the last week, and I hope that you are on top of it. We have a special event coming up tomorrow. Here it is. It's a taste of excellence. This is brought to you in conjunction partnership, USA Global TV and Radio, and the British School of Excellence, specifically Philip Sykes, who is the principal of the British School of Excellence. He has a train the trainer program where if you have ever thought to yourself, the value of etiquette and manners, what difference does it make? Hello, it makes a huge amount of difference. It's everything we're talking about today. It's integrity. It's treating people with respect. It's kindness. It's necessary. It's what we need across this world, starting with me, starting with you, starting right now. You can learn how to be an internationally accredited etiquette coach tomorrow, right here, wherever you're watching us, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. Please do join us 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Here it is again, a taste of excellence. Philip will be joined by alumni from his program, and they will be answering your questions about how can you make this incredible change in your life so that you love what you're doing. Who doesn't want to love what they're doing? And here's more information I will share with you right now. Again, it is this taste of excellence. And here's the banner with the information. How you can become an internationally accredited etiquette coach and create a business and life you love. Mark your calendars tomorrow, Tuesday, November 22nd, 6 to 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, right here. Thank you again for joining us. We will be back later today with a woman's prerogative. I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, if you'd like to be a guest on any of our shows, please go over to our website, usaglobaltv.com, and book your session. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.